book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
You can see the book of Deuteronomy, Moses is talking to who?
Read it one more time. Read it one more time. Listen carefully.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Who is Moses talking to?
He's talking to the people of Israel.
Right. Moses is talking to the children of Israel. Moses is not talking to everybody on earth. He's talking to who? The children of Israel. The same Deuteronomy, let's go to 28, verse 1.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Yeah. So the children of Israel, when the Lord set them free from Egypt, right, the Lord gave them a commandment. He says we should keep this commandment. If we keep this commandment, the Lord will set us high above all people. So you can see there is no equality in the Bible. Read it one more time again.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So if we will do what this Bible says, the Lord will set us what? High above all nations. There is no equality in the Bible. We will be high above the European, above the Chinese, above the Arab, above everybody on earth. So we have the possibility to observe this Bible, do what it says, and the Lord will set us high above all people. But there's the other side. If we don't do, what will happen? So we have to keep the commandment, and the Lord set us high above all people. On the other side, if we don't keep the commandment, what is going to happen? Read on.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
All this what?
all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So there is two choices. We do what this Bible says, and the Lord put us high above all nations. If we don't do what this Bible says, curses will come upon us. So we have two choices. We do what the Bible says, obey the commandment, and we become the kings and the queens of the earth. If we don't, we will be cursed. But guess what we choose? We choose the curses. Now read verse 31.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 31. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes.
32.
Verse 32, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
One of the curses was our sons and daughters will be given unto another people. Slavery. Sons and daughters will be given unto another people, and there will be no might in their hand. We will have no military might to take back, to fight and take back our sons and daughters. This means what? Our sons and daughters will go into slavery. Read, bro.
Verse 21. The Lord shall make thee pestilence cleave unto thee. 42.
Yes.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
They shall go into what?
Into captivity.
Sons and daughters will go into captivity. You see, bro, this Bible is talking about us. The only people that ever went into slavery, captivity, is us. We're going to break it down for you. Read what you got.
47. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God.
Stop right there. Because we don't serve the Lord our God, because we don't do what this Bible says, we don't keep the commandment. The Lord commanded us to keep the commandment. Because we don't do that, we're supposed to be happy when the Sabbath day comes. We're supposed to be happy when the new moon days come. We're supposed to be happy keeping the Lord's feast days and his commandment. Because we are not doing this as a result of that.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
Because we are not serving God, the Lord our God, with joyfulness of heart. We're supposed to be happy. Look at these brothers. Look, we're standing here. What are we doing here? Trying to wake our people up. We are so happy to come out here and try to teach our people. This is what the Lord commanded us to do. We're supposed to be doing this with joyfulness of heart. Real.
Verse 48, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Therefore shall thou serve who?
Thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
When we want food, where do we go? Where do we go when we want food?
We go to the store.
Yeah, who owns the stores?
The Caucasians and the Vietnamese and Koreans.
Right. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies in hunger. When we want food, we have to go to who?
We gotta go to the enemy.
That's right.
And in thirst.
In thirst, you want water to drink. Where do you go?
We gotta go to the enemy.
To who?
To the enemy.
Hello, bro.
We gotta go to the enemy.
And in nakedness.
You want clothing. Do we have any factory to manufacture clothing? Where do we go when we want to buy clothing? You go to.
We gotta go to the enemy.
That's right.
And in want of all things.
Anything you want, anything you want, a car, you want a camera, anything you want, shoe you want. Where do you go to buy all these things?
Gotta go to the enemy.
That's right. We don't.
And he shall put a yoke of iron.
And who shall put a yoke of iron?
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Right. You see, that's the yoke of iron he's talking about. The only people this happened to, what are we reading? We are reading the Bible. The only people this happened to are the people, the sons and daughters of the Most High, the children of God. The people that went into slavery. This is what we are reading the Bible. But you can see these are not drawings. These are pictures. Read verse 68, bro. These are not drawings. These are pictures. This is what we are reading here. Read verse 68.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Do you know any people in history that went into slavery with ships? Do you know any race of people, any history? Do you know whoever in history went into slavery with ships?
Our people would.
That's right. That's what we are reading. This book is our record. This is what we are reading in the Bible. We are the only people that went into slavery with ships. We are reading the Bible, but physically in life this happened to us. And we are reading in the Bible. Now tell me, what does the other nation got to do with this Bible? This Bible is talking about.
He's talking about us. Go.
By the way, whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Check the power on the
And
on the mic.
Ye shall be sold
He might have pressed the
unto
button.
your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
What? Tell him watch the
Read it
button.
one more time again, bro.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
What is the Bible saying here? The children of Israel, you're reading in the Bible. When anybody read this Bible, you read about us. What is the Lord saying here? That we, the children of Israel, we will go into slavery with ships and we will be sold as slaves. You see, anybody reading this Bible is reading about us. Anybody reading this Bible is reading about us. We are the people that, look at me, bro. We are the people that went into slavery with ships. What did the Lord say? We will never see our homeland again. The Lord said we will go into slavery with ships and we will be sold as slaves. In history, the only people this happened to are our people. Read verse 46.
Verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
The slave trade will be a sign that we are the children of Israel this Bible is talking about. Give me that Exodus 4:22. The slave trade, going into slavery with ships and be sold as slaves, will be a sign that we are the God-chosen people that this Bible is talking about. Are you shocked, bro? Are you shocked?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
You should come, the brother they will give you, you come and learn more. You come and learn more about us. Give me that Exodus 20 verse 2. You come and learn more.
The book of Exodus, chapter 4 and verse 22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son.
Who is my son?
Israel is my son.
Read it one more time again. Start from the beginning again.
The book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn.
Israel is my son, even my firstborn. We are the God-chosen people that the Bible is talking about. Anybody reading this Bible? What are you reading about? You're reading about the God-chosen people, the Israelites. That's what you're reading. These are the sons and daughters you're reading about in the Bible. Oh, everybody reading this Bible, you're reading about us. We are the children of God, the sons and daughters of the Most High. Read that, because we're supposed to be keeping God's laws. Because we are not keeping the commandment, as a result, the Lord cursed us. Let's read. Today is the Sabbath day. Let's read about the Sabbath.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
What did the Lord say?
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
The Lord asked us to remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. We are supposed to be keeping the commandment of the Lord. Because we are not keeping the commandment, as a result, the Lord cursed us. We are the children of God. We have to return back to the commandment of the Lord. Even at Exodus 35 and 3. Nehemiah 10 verse 31. We're supposed, Exodus 35 and 3. We're supposed to be keeping the commandment of the Lord, our God. Whoever get it. We are the sons and daughters. The people you are looking, these are the people you're reading in the Bible. Read on, bro.
The book of Exodus, chapter 35 and verse 3. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations up on the Sabbath day.
Ye shall kindle no fire throughout their habitation upon the Sabbath day. The Sabbath day is the day of the Lord. Give me that Revelation 1 and 10. I think 1 and 10. Right. We shall kindle no fire throughout your habitation upon the Sabbath day. Today is a Sabbath day. We are not supposed to be cooking or breaking the commandment of the Lord. We come out here to teach our people how to observe the commandment of the Lord. Read on.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 10 and verse 31. And if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell, that we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath or on the holy day, and that we would leave the seventh year. And
listen to that. Today is the Sabbath day. Our people have never learned how to keep the Sabbath day, how to keep God's commandment. The Lord commanded us not to cook or buy or sell on the Sabbath day. You read Nehemiah 10:31? Nehemiah 10:31. Today is the Sabbath day, we have to teach. You got it?
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 10, verse 31. And if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell, that we will not buy it of them on the Sabbath or on the holy day.
Right. Today is the Sabbath day. We're not supposed to be buying and selling and breaking God's commandments, and all the shops opening here and making our people to be breaking the commandment of the Lord. We have to keep the commandment of the Lord. We have to observe the Sabbath day and all the other feast days. We're the sons and daughters of the Most High. Now, what do you got, bro? Okay. Give me that Genesis 1 and 5. Which day is the Sabbath day? We're going to deal with that also. Which day is the Sabbath day? Give me that Genesis 1 and 5. Read on.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 5. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night.
The Lord called what? Read it one more time.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 5. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night.
The Lord called the darkness. Read it one more time again, bro.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 5. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night.
The Lord called. Wait, what you got? At Genesis 1 and 5. Read it one more time. Read it one more time.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 5. And God called the light day.
The Lord called the light day. The Lord called the light day. And what did he call the night?
And the darkness he called night.
And the darkness he called night. So when do the Sabbath day start? The Sabbath day start when the daylight turned to darkness. That's when the Sabbath day start. We have to keeping the commandment of the Lord. Because we are not doing this, the Lord sent us into captivity. Read what you got.
The book of Exodus, chapter 16 and verse 23. And he said unto them, this is that which the Lord hath said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath.
Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath. Read on.
Unto the Lord bake that which you will bake today, and see that ye will seethe, and that which remaineth or overlay.
Rest on with that. As you see, we make it very clear who this Bible is talking to. This Bible is talking to one nation, one people. This Bible is not for everybody. This is a constitution for the children of Israel. This Bible is a constitution. The Constitution of the United States is written by white people for white people. This constitution right here is written by the Israelite for the Israelite. That's it.
That's right.
Give a hand for the Mosai, brothers and sisters. Clap for the Mosai. Give the Mosai a hand. This constitution right here has nothing to do with all nations on earth. This is our constitution written by us, for us.
You got
That's
fire?
right. Let's see. Leviticus 16:31. Leviticus 16:31. If you Leviticus 16:31. 16:31. Leviticus 16.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 16 and verse 31. It shall be a Sabbath of rest unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls by a statute forever. For how long? Forever. For how long? Forever.
A lot of people say we are no more under the law. Keep saying we are not under the law. We don't have to keep the Sabbath day. We don't have to do this. We don't have to do that. What did the Lord say? It's a statute for how long?
By a statute forever.
That's right. A statute forever. How are you, bro? Bro, can I say something to you?
With the white man, you can't hear you.
Yeah, they come here. They are working with the white man. Yeah. What do you got there? Yeah, okay. Give me that Baruch 4 and 6. Baruch 4 and 6. Baruch 4 and 6. We are the sons and daughters of the Most High, the children of God. The children, the people the Bible is talking about. That's us. How are you doing, bro? Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your nationality, bro?
Black man.
Black man. Alright, give me a hand. You're a black man. So there is no nation on earth called black man. You see, we are the Israelites that this Bible is talking about. We are out here to teach our people their nationality. See, your nationality, are you African American?
No, I'm not African American.
Where are we from?
I'm from Richmond, Virginia, but the thing is that regardless of religion, I know right
No, we are not talking about religion. We are talking about the
I
Israelite.
know right from wrong. And I'm not, it's not my concern whether I came from Africa, whether I came from Haiti. It's not my concern.
Hold on. Why is it not your concern? Why is it not your concern?
Because I know right from wrong.
Everybody on earth.
That doesn't matter.
Listen, bro. We are just talking. Everybody on earth has a nationality, right? So what is your nationality? Everybody on earth has a nationality.
That only matters to the white man. That only matters to these paperwork and stuff like that. That's the only time that matters to anybody.
Let me tell you something. Wait, let me ask you this. Okay, no problem. Give me that. You got Baruch 4 and 6?
The book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations.
You were what?
You were sold to the nations.
We were sold unto the nation. We are the only people. You Google the word slavery, it's our people you will see. God chosen people will be the best on the earth today. God chosen people. The people in the Bible, they will be the best of all nations today. The Lord put us a curse on us because we break His commandment. We are here today to teach our people how to obey the Lord so the Lord can raise up back to the top. Read it one more time again, bro.
Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved God to wrath.
Because we move God to wrath. Because we move God to wrath. We were sold unto the nation. We were sold unto the nation because we moved God to wrath. So what are we going to do today? What are we now supposed to do? We're supposed to start reading the commandment and teach our people how to obey the Lord so the Lord can take us back to the top.